it's Affy, and today I am here to do my April TBR. I will be doing new author April, so I wanted to show you all the books that I plan on reading, all the new authors that I plan on reading in April. Are you done licking my face? Did I taste good? Okay. So the first author I have here is actually not a new to me author, but I will be reading this book for the Tea and Biscuits with Tara and B, or B and Tara. I can't remember the exact full name, but it is the read along that Tara and B do every month. So the book that they chose is by Anna Harrington. This is If the Duke Demands. And so I will be reading this book as part of that read along. All right, so the first author I have here to try out is Gail Callan. This is No Ordinary Groom. This is the first book in the Spies and Lovers series. And Gail Callan, I haven't heard anything about her through BookTube. But I have seen a couple of things mentioned about her, like on Instagram. I think she's an older school author, like maybe from the 90s to 2000s. I don't think I saw anything newer from her. But I got a couple books of hers on Thrift Books, and I just wanted to check her out. So for this book, it says, Miss Jane Whittington's hopes have been dashed. She'd always imagined herself marrying someone daring, adventurous, and exciting. Instead, the man her father has betrothed her to is a fop. Certainly, William Chadwick is devastatingly handsome, but Jane could never love a dandy who cares for nothing save the latest fashions. So why does his heated gaze inflame a desire in her that she's never known? His work as a British spy has kept William apart from proper society for years, and he has no idea that his latest disguise is anything less than appropriate. Now that he longs for a simpler, safer lot, he believes he's found his ideal bride in this irresistible beauty. But it will take a special sort of seduction to win Jane's heart, and when the crown calls him back into service, how can William refuse, even if it costs him the peace he covets and the woman he can no longer live without? Okay, sounds interesting. I like spy romances, so this should be a fun one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, Gail Callan. The next author I have here is one that I have heard things about, and she's, I think, pretty popular. I've heard a couple of things about her Chance Sisters series. That's the one with the Spring Bride, the Autumn Bride, the Winter Bride, the Christmas Bride, and the Summer Bride. So it's that series, and I do have that series, but for whatever reason I picked a different series of hers to read. This is Anne Gracie. Like I said, I have heard good things about her, so I want to jump on the Anne Gracie train and kind of figure out what everybody else is twittering about. But this one says, she ran from a brute. Fate has lavished beauty on the Merridew sisters. That is all save the eldest, but plain Prudence bears no grudge. She loves her 4 beautiful sisters infinitely. So when their brutal grandfather is laid up with an injury, she seizes the opportunity to concoct an ingenious escape for all 5 of them. And fast. And into the arms of a rake. Renowned rake Gideon Lord Caradice has a way of making ladies swoon, but when Prudence arrives at his doorstep, mistaking him for his cousin the Duke, it is Gideon who's infatuated. For some reason, this delightful spitfire has told her uncle that she and the Duke are engaged, although a taller tale was never told. But so taken is Gideon with this charming miss that he's eager to join the game, especially if it includes a stolen kiss or two. Now Prudence's plot is going terribly, if deliciously, awry. Okay, okay. This sounds interesting. Like I said, I know the Chance Sisters is the one about all the different season brides. I don't know why I didn't pick that one, but this still sounds interesting, so I'm looking forward to it. The next author I have here is one that I've never heard anything about. This is How to Capture a Countess. This is part of the Duchess Diaries. This is Karen Hawkins. And like I said, I have not heard anything about her before. That's her on the back there. So I know nothing about this author, but the story looks really interesting. So it says at 17, Rose fell wildly in love with Lord Alton Sinclair, known as Lord Sin for his wicked ways. Stung by his indifference, the starry-eyed girl tried to win an illicit kiss, but then panicked and pushed the notorious Raquel into a fountain, leaving Lord Sin floating among the lily pads to the mocking laughter of his peers. Rose escaped back to the obscurity of the Scottish countryside. 6 years later, Sin convinces his aunt, the Duchess of Roxborough, to invite Rose to her annual house party, where he plans to get revenge by making Rose the laughingstock of polite society. To his astonishment, he finds she has become an alluring woman who threatens to turn the tables on his nefarious plans. Thus, Sin and Rose begin an epic battle of the sexes that becomes more passionate at every turn. Eventually, one will have to surrender, but to vengeance or to love's deepest passion. That sounds like fun. I'm looking forward to that one. That sounds hilarious. It reminds me of the first book in the Scandal and Scoundrels series by Sarah McLean, where she pushes him into the water fountain and embarrasses him in front of the entire ton. So that's what that reminds me of. The next author I have here is Caroline Lennon. This is Love and Other Scandals. And Caroline, I actually follow her on Instagram. I think she's got a couple new books out recently, so it'll be nice to try her out and just kind of get into her backlist and see what she's all about. Joan Bennett has endured 4 seasons without a single suitor or serious flirtation, let alone a marriage proposal. She's had just about enough of being a respectable wallflower and is giving serious thought to embarking on a life of sin, or at least lascivious adventure, like the ones described in a popular scandalous book. When she meets her brother's favorite drinking mate, Viscount Burke, it seems her hopes of adventure might be answered. Tristan Burke doesn't want a wife, and one can't trifle with a friend's sister without risking marriage. Even more, Joan's the last sort of woman he would ever choose. Droll, sharp-witted, and always unfashionably dressed. If only he could stop thinking about her mouth, or what she might look like without those horrid clothes, or the way he can only win an argument with her by kissing her senseless, even though that just makes him want her more. But more could lead to a betrothal, which he fears. Or does he? Okay. Interesting. Brother's Best Friend. I've only read one Brother's Best Friend book, and it was Julia Quinn. It was part of the Smythe Smith series. I don't remember the name of the book, but that one was okay. I think that was the only Brother's Best Friend book that I've ever read. So yeah, this should be fun. This will be nice. Next book I have here is by Jennifer McQuiston. This is What Happens in Scotland. And this has a step back. And this is an author I've never heard anything about, like at all. So she's another one that's a complete mystery to me, but that's why we're here. We're here to check out new authors, whether we've heard of them or not. So this one should be interesting. It says, she woke up married. When Lady Georgette Thorold awoke, she saw her corset hanging from the armoire, a very handsome, very naked Scotsman lying beside her, and a wedding ring on her finger. Before the attractive stranger can tell her his name, Georgette does the only sensible thing. She runs for it. Little does she know, James Mackenzie isn't clear on what happened the night before either. All he knows is that his money is missing and the stunning woman who just ran from the room is either his wife or a thief, or possibly both. What happens in Scotland when two complete strangers fall madly, deeply in love. This one sounds like a lot of fun. I'm actually really looking forward to this one. The next author is also another author that I've never heard anything about. This is Tracy Ann Warren. This is Tempted by His Kiss. And this one also has a step back, which is a beautiful step back. I really like that one. I should do that for Step Back Saturday. That's a gorgeous one. So like I said, I haven't heard anything about this author. I think she's on Instagram though, if I'm not mistaken. But it says Orphan Beauty Meg Amberley never planned to pose as Lord Cade Byron's fiancée. Caught in a snowstorm, she takes refuge at his estate. Stranded together, Meg soon finds herself falling under Cade's spell. When the road's clear, she intends to leave, but fate intervenes. Haunted by his past, Cade Byron has buried himself in the country. Then Meg, with her lush curves, invades his house and his life. With her reputation compromised, he proposes a pretend engagement and a London season where she can find a husband. But as their charade deepens, Cade can't let her go, vowing to tempt her with a kiss that just may lead to forever. So basically a fake engagement, which is cool. I'm not big on fake engagements. They're all right, I guess. they're good. I've had one or two that I really enjoyed, but they don't really, I don't know. They don't tickle my pickle. Like they're just kind of all right for me. So the last author I have here is one that I was actually supposed to read last year in August for New Author August, but I did not get to this book. This is Kathy Maxwell, All Things Beautiful. And I really love the cover. She's another author I follow on Instagram. And yeah, so this says, Lady Julia Markham was the toast of London society until an ill-advised attempted elopement ended in betrayal and left her good name in tatters. Now ruined, penniless, and desperate, she has agreed to wed the magnetic and possibly dangerous Brader Wolfe. A dashing, phenomenally successful self-made businessman, Brader wants this union to help gain him entry into the drawing rooms of the aristocracy. Nothing more. Julia, however, is a woman of rare passion and daring, irresistibly drawn to this enigmatic, infuriating man, and no mere marriage of mutual convenience will do. But how far will the spirited beauty have to go to satisfy a heart that will settle for no less than the love of a lifetime? So, yeah. Like I said, I was supposed to read her last year and didn't get around to it, so I think I'm gonna try and make this a priority for me this coming month to at least have this be one of the first 2 or 3 books that I read so that I can get her out of my system. But yeah, this one should be fun. I am excited. I've got 8 books for April. I've been reading about 6 books every month for the last 2 or 3 months, so hopefully I can make 8. If I don't, that's fine. I just want to try out new authors. Hopefully I can do 8. I don't know if I'll be able to make it through all of these, but I'm gonna try. Anybody I don't make it through to, I will just add them to my August TBR for New Author August and do it then. But I'm hoping, some of those books sound really, really interesting, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good reading month for me. You were having a good nap, huh? Alright, if you made it to the end of the video and you want to leave a comment, but you don't have anything to comment, go ahead and leave me the star emoji. If you have read any of these authors, definitely leave me some comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to April. I think it'll be a good reading month. So leave me some comments and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.